Sex trafficking. It is a silent crime that is forcing some of its youngest victims into a life that they never asked for.
You know, for nearly 6 years now, the Harford County Sheriff's Department has worked in the shadows with the Department of Social Services in the fight against child sex trafficking. And tonight, ABC 2 News, Nadia Singh shows us just how the victims are rescued from a life of abuse and trauma. Nadia.
Well, Jamie and Kelly, between 60 and 90% of sex trafficking victims come through the foster care system. It's an alarming trend law enforcement officers are trying to curb, but they can't do it alone, and the victims continue to get younger and younger.
The victim could be anybody.
Children often rely on their parents or a trustworthy adult to keep them safe. But what happens when trust is broken and fosters into the dark life of sex trafficking? Harford County Detective Joe Dugan says human trafficking crimes committed by family members is not unusual. In fact, it's something they've seen before.
Sometimes that human trafficking is simple as a mother maybe pimping out their daughter for drugs. We have seen that here in Harford County.
We've had cases where it's their own parent who is prostituting them to their drug dealer, so they get their drugs for free.
But in some cases, traffickers can take the shape of companions, and in others, a new friend. Money or lack thereof play no parts on whether a child is subjected to the underground world of trafficking. And to those who commit the crimes, for them, it's a strategic game to lure victims.
It starts as a boyfriend, somebody who understands. And pimps put a lot of work into it. They're good at what they do. They want to look for troubled youth. They'll go to Senate court proceedings. They will go to schools and sit outside schools and see who leaves early.
The lengths to which human traffickers go for overnight success has few limitations. On countless occasions, even former drug dealers have gone the trafficking route, all for a larger payday.
You think about a drug dealer, he's going to make a trip maybe to New York, to get a package of drugs, got to come back here, he's got to package it. He sells it. When he's out, he has to run back to New York and get another package. Well, if I get myself 3 or 4 girls, right, I can sell them over and over and over and over. I can sell the same girl 20 times a night.
As the secret rings continue to invade communities, schools, and the streets, traffickers are getting smarter about recruitment.
A lot of the girls that are being trafficked have come through the foster care system. Numbers range anywhere from 60 to 90% of them.
And so the pimp will say, you know what, I want you to go into DSS care, because they can get them into a group home. And once they're in that group home and they're around other young ladies who've had similar issues, do not have anybody, they can recruit them.
But once recruiting is over and the road to recovery begins, getting victims to talk about their experiences brings new challenges.
So because we are here for the kids, we want to make sure they're safe.
The comfort of a safe place, a calming voice, or just a distraction most take for granted can break a victim's silence.
To get them to the point that they're willing to talk to you, all the work you've put in, and then you go in there and you hear, and you're not hearing everything, you're hearing a part of their life story, and to know that they've been through that, things that most adults have never experienced even a portion of, and they've lived through this.
Advocates say protecting young people from trafficking starts with open communication at home. Detectives stress that resources can be found everywhere and parents should be vigilant about who their kids are talking to. We have information on those resources on our website, abc2news.com.